Ed meeting with educators from around New York to talk about recommended changes to graduation measures.
That's right. And just back from Albany, after some technical issues yesterday with us, it's East Syracuse Manoa School Superintendent Dr. Donna Desiato. Great to have you in studio. Really appreciate it, Donna.
Great to be here.
So let's talk first. I think one of the recommendations that jumped out at me from the Blue Ribbon Commission, going from 3 diplomas now to just 1, where you can add various seals and endorsements. What are your thoughts about doing that 3 to 1?
I think that was actually something that, I think that the Blue Ribbon Commission has listened very carefully to the feedback. I think that recommendation was to provide greater clarity. What is an actual high school diploma? And if there is one, then we can all understand what the one is. The seals and the endorsements will then allow for the differentiation of higher levels of rigor that have been achieved. They'll recognize areas such as civic readiness or other kinds of endorsements, such as you have an endorsement in automotive technology, or you have an endorsement in business and finance. So those, I think, will also help. Or you have assumed you have been able to amass credits in college-bearing credit courses or in early college high school associate degree. So now you'll be more individualized for the types of courses, credits, and achievements that a student has.
All right, that's one recommendation. There are 12. Is there another one that kind of jumps out at you as, you know, a good way to continue as a measure to educate our kids?
Yeah, and I actually think that there are 2, in the sense that one, I think, is the second recommendation, which encompasses that now a student will also have civic readiness, financial literacy, fine and performing arts, STEM, and other credits that will now be front and center as part of their education. But also the flexibility in assessments. We have long awaited to have greater flexibility. The Regents exams, which are 5, were actually approved and adopted in 1906. It was very much a different age. It was an industrial age revolution. And now we live in a digital world, in a digital age, and our students really need a more advanced type of preparation for college, careers, and for civic engagement.
Yeah, which leads me kind of my next one. If these are adopted, what do you think this means towards post-high school success? Because that's really what we're aiming for, is how do we make sure in today's world we're setting kids up for whatever that means post-high school?
I think we're going to see that students are going to be better prepared, which I think will be both for careers and their career preparation with regard to what they're choosing in a career, and for college and or whatever other postgraduate types of activities or schools they may engage in. But I think what's important about that is that earlier on, they'll be able to make decisions about what they're talented in, what they're interested in, and what they really want to pursue, so that then they're engaged in that coursework. I think that will lead to higher levels of graduation and more engagement and more preparedness.
And Donna, how much is education changing, especially at the high school level, especially with the changes we're seeing in the work environment?
I think that we've seen a tremendous amount of change. And I think the fact that they now also are identifying the portraits of a graduate, that you want them to be a critical thinker and innovative. You want a student to have empathy. You want a student to have civic mindedness and civic readiness. You know, I think that it's the changes are ultimately in the fact that we're really living in a very rapidly changing world. It certainly has a highly influenced by technology, and we need for our students to be prepared for the world that they're living in and that they'll be working in.
We've got about 45 seconds. Do you have any rough ideas to how this might go now? So these are recommendations at this point.
Sure. They're recommendations from a Blue Ribbon Commission that was a really well-represented commission. I think they did a great work. Now this goes to the commissioner and to the Board of Regents. And ultimately, they will take this and they'll look at task forces, action plans, and we'll begin to see that, hopefully. And hopefully people will stay very engaged in wanting to underscore what we need to have happen. But we'll see that as we turn the corner for the next part of this school year, and hopefully begin to see some of those changes as we begin the following school year, and then subsequently over the next probably several years.
All right, great conversation, great explanation. Thank you. Dr. Donna Desiato with the ESM Schools
Thank you.
District.
Thank you.